Hello. Hi again. Hope you all enjoyed the screening. And to dive deeper into the story and creative process, we prepared a short Q&A. Please welcome to the stage again our moderator, Javiera Balmaceda. Gonzalo, the director. But also we have two amazing cast members, which is the surprise of the night. Stephanie Sigman and Marta Higareda. And the baby. And the baby.
Oh, wow.
Está planeado.
¡Bravo, Marta!
Thank you again to everybody, and thank you, Gonzalo, Marta, and Stephanie, for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. This is a really interesting and thrilling film. So I'm going to kick it first to Marta. And this really centers around conflicts and human themes around seduction, trust, and betrayal. Can you tell us a little bit about how you prepared, Carolina?
Well, prepared for Carolina. You want me to do it in Spanish or in English? Español, ¿verdad?
English.
Spanish. Bilingüe. Okay.
Bilingüe.
It was an interesting proceso. It was an interesting process because it was, as you've seen the movie now, there's that big twist towards the end, right? And so then how do you, knowing what's happening with the character and where you're taking it with the director, and how do you play it? Like, actually Gonzalo and I had conversations about it, and it was just like, just literally play it as it is happening right now. Everything, like the situation, the vulnerability, so the way I approached it was like, this is real and it's happening, and I'm this una mujer que necesita mucha ayuda y que está completamente rota, y entonces approaching her from that perspective.
Yeah. So interesting, the approach of Carolina being so vulnerable in the beginning, right? And then actually showing the level of strength she had. I wonder also, you're also an executive producer on the film. How did you feel about being one of the producers and also the lead actor?
So it was. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot in the way of like just getting together Diego's team and my team and saying, let's do a movie together, and let's, we had something clear in mind that we, specifically for this project, we didn't want to do a romantic comedy. We wanted to do something that obviously involved romance and betrayal. Like, it was like a different angle. But I'm usually in the moments when the whole pre-production is done, then I'm like, okay, now I'm just the actor. And then I can just let go and be...
Right, because this was an original idea that you and Diego had. Then I think you all brought in Gonzalo.
Yes.
Gonzalo, how was it? Can you talk a little bit about your process in bringing your vision to this film and also dealing with all of these different human emotions?
Yes, I was thinking when you were talking that we did that, but also we were trying to give some hints here and there and thinking also on the layers. It's a very complex film where a lot of, in a way, many genres are being put together.
I would love to see your mood board. I would love to see your mood board for this movie.
No, No, and I had a feeling that it's in a word there's something very classical to it. I had many like classic influences from classical movies, and at the same time I wanted to feel modern and yeah, to give a modern approach to it. I would say that was basically the approach, how to make a modern sexy thriller in a way with influences coming from, I don't know, Vertigo to
Hey,
Basic
what are you?
Instinct and
Let's letterbox this. What were your 4 top influential films in making this?
yeah, those Vertigo, Basic Instinct, Double Indemnity maybe, and
Oh, my favorite.
And God Girl, let's say. As a modern also exponent. Yeah, and then there were Diego and Marta, who both were from the very beginning of the process, or at least the moment where I came in, and it was a lot about working with them, and also I think from the moment I get into the project, maybe I would say it got a little bit darker, maybe. I don't know.
I'm glad, yeah.
Does that,
Yeah, that because there's also as you were saying, that there's the romance. It could have been a little bit more of a romantic comedy in a way, but I really love that, which is inside the movie, and even the end. I think we wanted to, in a way, stay in the zone of the romantic comedy, so to say. So it's very dark, but in the end, we wanted to, and I especially, I wanted to feel that there could be a sort of some kind of twisted love between these two twisted characters, and try to push for that, if you know what I mean.
yeah. Stephanie, you're our first victim in the film. But you handle it, your character really handles the power dynamics kind of well, right? Can you also talk a little bit about your approach to the character and why you said yes to this film?
Yeah, I mean, I Luis Rosales, the casting director, called me and sent me the script and told me who was involved, and then I had the meeting with Gonzalo. Like, it was 5 minutes on Zoom. So I was like, either he loved me or he hated me.
More than 5.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Apparently you like me.
Bye.
That's what I hear. I think, my character is the first character that is the first broken woman we see. Because I feel like all the women in this film are vulnerable and broken, right? And that's, it appears, it shows in different ways, but definitely my character has always been, whether we see it or not on screen, it's a character that's been through a lot, it's been vulnerable, is desperate in a way, and that's one of the things that he takes advantage of. And then we see all these women that go through this process with this guy who kind of really reminds me of a lot of things in the world right now nowadays, and like that we still go through as women in the industry, many industries, but like it's a reflection too. So obviously this is a very specific agenda that this character Diego has, because he has a very specific goal, but it kind of like, it's interesting to see how all these women go through the same thing in a different way, different intensity, and then like Marta was saying, the ending, right? It's like, poof, it's like it just flips and twists, and I mean, I wasn't expecting when I was reading the script. I don't know if you guys saw it coming, but I thought it was. It's amazing.
No.
Okay, good. Yeah.
See.
So it
See.
was interesting to see to give that turn at the end. So I was just happy to be working with all these talented people and with Marta, and even though we wanted to have some more scenes together at some point, and yeah, I was really happy to be able to go.
Yeah, I really thought the opening, right, where Diego's character talks about, there's a victim and there's someone who takes advantage of that victim. But that setup was really amazing, and then you kind of like,
Yeah.
it flips on him. And just exploring those different vulnerabilities, not just of women, but I think of people in general, right? Because at the end, he's also a broken person who's trying to protect his sister. Is there anything in your role or in the movie that you find relates to today's relationships or any human relationship that you have
Thankfully, no.
had? Those power struggles.
I mean, yeah, to a certain level, I guess, yes, at some point, yeah, you have power struggles and try figuring out if a relationship is too toxic or not, but like, no, I no.
Yeah.
Thankfully. A lot more healthy than that.
And you said you wish you had more scenes with Marta, which definitely I think everyone probably wished for a little bit more as well. Gonzalo, can you talk about working with Stephanie, with Marta, with Diego, Alberto, Alex? It's a great cast of who's who.
Yeah, it's a great cast. It's an amazing cast that I'm so happy we could put together. And yeah, for me it was such a great experience to be able to work with all of these super great actors. And it was a big pleasure. I mean, yeah, with all of them. What can I say? Yeah, in different ways, and each of them, of course, with Mark and Diego, we worked much more. But then it was we were very lucky, or I was very lucky to be able to have such a great actors for what could seem to be small characters or small parts, and then we could make them grow a lot from there in the work with the actors.
Yeah, and Marta, with your character, you really see that evolution, right? And how well she plays la víctima. Y al final, no eres ninguna víctima.
It will, I mean, she was trapped in that relationship, with
You're right.
her ex-husband, that, you think is the husband still, but she was, and I think the strength that she brings towards the end comes from the love she has for her daughter.
That's right.
And then what kind of world we're speaking about being a mom, like what world you want to raise your children in. So I remember thinking a lot about that, like if you're gonna choose between literally like love and the other love, you're gonna do everything you can to protect your child. And so I think that was the part that I was holding on to, and like I said, also I believe characters are co-created between the director and the actor, and I think, I don't know, I just feel very grateful that we had all the conversations we had, and that you trusted me also, and in many moments I was like, wait, should I do this here? And Gonzalo was like, trust me, do this in this part. Okay, great, let's do it. So it was always a collaborative effort, and then yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, I'm kind of building on the collaboration, because you have to also not just trust your director, but also your co-actors. Stephanie, can you talk a little bit about the trust that you built with your working on the set with the different actors?
Yeah, I mean, most of my things is that I have is with Diego, and we just had fun. Like, we had fun, and I remember that when we shot that scene at the scene. I was just, I don't know if you remember, but I remember I had very clear how I wanted. I almost like took cover a little bit for the camera and like you guys' work. I was like, okay, we should shoot this way, and yeah, I'm like back and this and that. And I was like, am I overstepping? I'm just giving ideas. I think I was very, I just knew what I wanted out of it. And, you know, it was a small time and small thing, my participation that I had. So I just wanted to make sure, you know, it just it was the way I wanted to do it. And I really I just had fun, and you know, me and Diego had fun, and it was smooth. So yeah.
Did you overstep, Gonzalo?
Was it helpful or not helpful? You can say it, it's fine.
No, very helpful.
It's a fantastic scene. We've talked a lot about universal themes of, you know, seduction, deception. All of you worked a lot in Latin America. What do you think this film has that are like distinctly Latin American or Mexican, and versus kind of like, and what do you think is also resonates with the global audience? I think, Marta, you really touched upon wanting to protect your child, but what do you think might make it uniquely Mexican or Mexicano or Latinoamericano?
Well, obviously, I think certain words that we use and like slang that we use, and Alex's character also, you know.
Yeah, it's great.
He's very, very Mexican that way, and it's actually very interesting. He's a fantastic actor. To see him like switch between the Mexican accent and the Colombian accent, he did a brilliant job. It's like it's really cool to see that too in the movie, and at the same time having those elements. The base, the foundation of the story is actually really universal. This story could have happened anywhere in the world, and sad to say, it actually happens anywhere in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I also think there's a thing that might not be like super positive about it, but I see it. You know, it's like el machismo that this is like how we as a society would have. You know, your character and your husband and the dynamic of it all. It's very Latin American. Like. We do have that very like in our system, in our, you know, culture, unfortunately. But I agree with you with Spacer. He not only does Mexico City accent, which is not his natural accent.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I think you want to say something, so I just want to make sure I'm giving you the time.
No, I can give the other. Because in a way I was also a bit of an alien because I
Wait, was it Argentine?
Yeah, I'm Argentine, and I was you know, invited in a way to do a Mexican film, so this was kind of a weird or special departure point, and in a way we talked a lot with them and with the producers, and that it was a challenge also to try and give a you know, a slight different vision of Mexico in this movie, which I think it would have. I couldn't give the vision of a Mexican, so it was something to try and take.
I always think it's really nice. We've done a lot of projects where we've brought directors or actors from outside of Mexico into Mexico or outside of Colombia, and I always find it really great the vision that you might have of Mexico City or what Andres Wood did with Bogota and Noticias de Bogota. I always feel like it opens it up the audience a little bit more and shows kind of like the distinctiveness of each culture.
Julio, for instance, the Mexican producer, when we were scouting, for instance, he was saying like, this is great because it's like you're you know, going after locations that we never show, and it's a different vision of Mexico City, and so I think, and also it was, let's try to make a super thriller, you know, but with our elements, with Mexican language, Mexican details, these kind of relationships. As Stephanie says, the character of Alberto is really this type of Mexican sort of new rich, a little bit mobster, and the relationship they have. So it's full of things that are, you know, very from the culture, but at the same time there's a very cinematic code to it that builds the thriller.
So going back to you, Martha, as an executive producer, what were some of the biggest challenges of getting this to the screen? Getting all the way up to hard prep.
I think the first challenge we had was to find a writer that could put all this vision into a really good script that then, obviously then when you, Gonzalo, stepped in, it just became even better. But I think Ipatia is a wonderful writer. Finding the right producer, and Julio is fantastic. I think that was a key element in everything. It also felt like when Julio jumped in, it was like, the things started moving, and then Gonzalo was a very key piece. I think it's important to, in general, this is my perspective as a producer, executive producer. They're so talented, so it's like all the talent, all the suggestions, all the things, and then you just like take a back seat, and they create all of what they're creating, and then you feel very excited to be part of all these talents put together. So like I said, so once the movie starts rolling, it's more for me, it's more like I'm an actor, and yeah.
Well, you did great work. And so just to wrap it up from all of you, what do you hope our audiences take away from this film? Stephanie, Marta,
I
Gonzalo?
never hope anything specific. I feel like the experience, but I really mean this, because I feel like the experience of watching a movie like this is very personal. It touches different things in different people, and I just, as long as you're like invested in it and living the experience, whatever that is that it provokes on you, that's great. Like I just, as long as something's happening, that's a great sign.
Yeah, I agree. And if they can be surprised, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Muy bueno.
Didn't see it coming, yes.
Sí, sí.
Hope you'll be very entertained. And tell all your friends to watch it, and tell their friends to watch it. This Friday on Prime Video. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My water broke.
Oh my God. Tremenda.